Hi everybody, welcome back to the Crochet Nurse channel. Today what we're going to do is tag, you're it, let's talk crochet hooks. And so this is actually one of the items that is going around from content creator to content creator, where basically there's 10 questions and everybody's answering the 10 questions about various answers about hooks. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And just for those who may or may not be aware, what I'm wearing is a vest that I created a while back, and I believe I already put the pattern to it up on my website, thecrochetinurse.com. It's just a 4 or 5 row repeater that I kind of threw together as something that I liked. All right, so let's begin. So question number 1, what is your favorite brand of hook? Actually, I have a couple that I will share. The first brand of hook that is my favorite will be the tulips. I like these guys. And this is a size H hook. So I like the tulips quite a bit. The second one that I like a lot is going to be the clovers. And this one is an I 5.5. These two are very, very similar. One of the only, well, there's a few differences, but the biggest difference between the two of these is the tulip is actually smaller and lighter. And you can see the length there. And so the head, you can see very small difference there. But the tulips are smaller and they're actually lighter. And so if I'm looking for something, if my hands are sore, even for this is super light. This is even lighter. So like I think this is like 0.4 grams and this is 0.3, something along those lines. The other ones that I like aside from those are Hobby Lobbies. And it depends upon what I'm crocheting, what I'm using, right? Whether it's going to be the Hobby Lobby because this has a longer head and I will use it because it has a bigger swing. And so those are the ones, and this is a size H hook, okay? So those are the 3 types of hooks that I like. Then second question number 2 is favorite size. I have a preference for G through K. And so if I'm supposed to, if the pattern's calling for, I'm thinking it's going to call for like an I typically step down to a G, a 4.0. And then if I'm looking at something, an H, I like an H as well. That's one of my favorites. And then if I'm going to, you can see those are the ones I went to automatically, or the H's. Those are some of my favorites. And if I'm going to use something big, I will use a K. And I do not have a K in tulip, so it will be in clover. Couldn't remember the name there for a second. Yeah, for a clover. But if I want really big, bigger than a K, I will typically then go over to Hobby Lobby. Because when I get to the really, really large hooks, I prefer a Hobby Lobby, and I'll show you why. This is a 12 for a clover, right? And here's its counterpart. And look at the difference. Look at the difference on the length, right? You get a lot more. If you line them up, you get a lot more on the length on the Hobby Lobby. And so if I'm going to do a really large project, I usually will grab a Hobby Lobby because I got a lot more swing and it makes it a little bit easier for me to do. Tapered or inline, I guess that's an inline. Or is that a tapered? I don't know. Whatever clover is, and it is the same deal. I don't use any metal hooks at all, although I do have a couple. I don't use them, and so it's just not something that I like. How do you do your grip? Which is question number 4. I do a knife grip. That is how I learned, and I crochet right-handed even though I am a left-hander. I do crochet right-handed, but I will absolutely watch videos that are crocheting left-handed because I can reverse it in my mind easy enough because my head is strung to looking at left-handed stuff. And so when I'm crocheting, when I'm going the back pass, like on Tunisian, I have no problem doing the back pass and switching hands and then flipping it around. That's not a problem for me. Does the hook style dictate how you crochet? Whether it's a knife grip or pencil grip, no, because I'll always do the knife grip. The hook style will not dictate that. But as I shared a second ago, if I'm using a Hobby Lobby, because it has a longer head, this will dictate my swing. And so as I shared in one of my other videos a while back, these have a longer head and so the swing is bigger. So I will use these hooks if I'm going to create something that's lacy. This one I'm wearing here, I used a clover. But if I was going to create something drapey, I think like 6 months ago or so, I created that wrap, and it was very, very drapey with the Annie's Crochet Kit Club. I used a Hobby Lobby hook because it was very drapey and I had a lot of swing, and these allow for that. I know that might sound funny to people, but that's how I look at it, because I want the end to be long because it's less impact on my wrist, and so I'll have less carpal tunnel pain if I use the long head. But for tight stitching, my first pick would be to go down to the tulip for the tight stitching. Would not be the Hobby Lobby. Okay, ergonomic or regular hooks, which is question number 6, hands down ergonomic. I will not crochet with these guys. I have them because I've gotten them over time and just had them, but I will avoid them. This is something that I got from beautiful hook. I got this from We Crochet when I got a kit from it was the crochet book #1 and a couple skeins of yarn, and then I got the hook with it as well. Beautiful. This is an H. Beautiful hook, but I will never crochet with it. There's a little bit of a thumb hook, but it's too tiny and it's too slippery. I will always go for an ergonomic, whether it's going to be a tulip, a clover, or a Hobby Lobby. Okay. Thoughts on light up hooks? I like them. This is question number 7. I bought one, a crochet light, to try it, and I like it. The light on here is really bright, and so what you want to be careful of is if you're in a really dark spaces, is turning it on, it may hurt your eyes. And I liked that one so much that I ended up with a big kit. And I haven't used all of these on a regular basis yet, but as you can see, I have a kit. And so, and this one goes from C all the way up to 6.5K. And what I like about these is that they are also very light and they are ergonomic. Just that they're flat here. It's a different finger grip. They're long enough. They come out the end so they don't make my hands sore. So I do like them. The light on these is very bright. So if I'm crocheting, I'll use it for dark yarn. And when I'm using it, I will not use it in a dark room, if that makes sense, because the light is too bright for my eyes. I have very sensitive eyes. The only thing that I don't like about them is they tend to squeak, especially on acrylic yarn. They don't do that, oddly enough, on cotton, unless it's really rough cotton, or the rayon, because that's more slippery, and the bamboo. But if it's an acrylic yarn, it squeaks because it's plastic on plastic. So yeah, so that's not a very good thing there. Okay. Have you ever used a hook with interchangeable heads? No. And I actually do not really have any interest in trying that, simply because I'm just not interested. Yeah, no, not me. Do you like projects that require small stainless steel hooks or large hooks? Small stainless? No. Large stainless? No, because, again, that would be these guys, or even stainless. I don't know. These are like the metal hooks. I'm not interested in doing those. I do have the really, really tiny clover hooks all the way down to, I think, like a B. I've just not made anything with it yet that I haven't had interest yet to make anything yet. But I do want to do some like little doilies. I know Fun with Olivia over there, she makes a lot of those things, and she and I are on the same page when it comes to that, because that's kind of stuff that we both seem to like, and so that's where those teeny tiny hooks are going to come into play. All right, question 10. If you could only use 2 hook sizes, what would they be? I would say it would be an H, would be my first one, because I like H's. Those, like I say, I tend to grab them first, and then the other one would be a K. And the reason is because I can make most things with an H and a K. Yeah, for me. So between the two, like those are kind of like my go-tos that I will switch off of. All right, so that was Let's Talk Crochet Hooks, and I hope that you found my answers interesting. If you have different answers or you have any questions about what things that I was sharing, put them in the comments below and let's start a conversation. Have a fantastic day, y'all. Bye.